Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's bonus episode of Pitch Pass Podcast. It's me, Brando,
What up? It's
and my
Brett.
co-host.
How's it going, everybody?
Yes, this
Oh,
is our mid-season edition of Pitch Pass, my friend.
yeah.
And
Hard to
we're
believe.
talking about. The year's halfway over. um, we're talking about what the year's been like so far. Um, I love that there's been a lot of the return of the run game
Yes.
being important this year. All the too high defenses have kind of neutered a lot of the passing game.
Oh, definitely.
And offenses right now, there's not as many big plays.
Hmm.
So they have to be so much more efficient to score
Yeah,
right now.
definitely.
A lot of people may be a little irritated by it because there's not as many big scoring games, high scoring games.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with it because finally the defenses have caught up.
Yes, absolutely. And this corner class that we just got in is such a talented class of
So
corners.
fucking
And
good.
that role is just it's probably it's probably the most I know you can argue quarterback and that's fine, but physically and mentally
Physically?
corner is the most difficult position to step into, in my opinion.
But yeah, outside corner is the most physically hard position to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
Especially if you think about the physics of playing corner.
Yeah.
There's not another position where you start most plays
Backwards.
going backwards.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's so difficult. You have to be so athletic. It's as Jason Kelsey put it best. It's such a hard position. They don't even let white people do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, not wrong.
Not wrong.
I heard there's one upcoming. I heard there's one.
There was one that was playing with the Commanders, and then he got cut.
No, there's one in college right now that's okay,
Oh,
from what I hear.
no, thank you.
Well,
think
we
probably
are
mid.
Probably mid. I don't
Probably mid.
I don't doubt it. We are at the week 10 mark. The Thursday night game has completed, but now we're sitting here kind of not really sure. We're not going to take a look back in this episode. We're going to save that for the end of the year, but we're going to kind of look at what is standing at the middle of the season and kind of project that on out. I will say that you were definitely right in saying that the Patriots are the worst team in their division, and that's really, really saying something because they are 5-4. They still have a positive record.
I know. That's probably one of the most shocking things.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah,
still being the worst team in that division.
it's insane.
Okay. Also, and
What's up?
when are the Falcons gonna bench fucking Marcus Mariota for Desmond Ritter?
Hot take: just use him in the same role as the Saints use Taysom Hill.
Marcus?
Yeah.
No. You know why?
Yes.
Because he can't hold up.
I mean,
That's why.
do you need him to? You have Ritter coming in. It's fine. Just get what use out of him you can.
They just need to bench him. Just bench him. I really don't think he's explosive as Taysom, honestly.
Oh no, I don't think so either. But he does.
It's just not as worthwhile at that point. Because you also have Cordero. It's also taking runs away from Cordero Patterson, taking possible targets away from other players.
Yeah.
I'm not big enough on Marcus Mariota, any asset facet that even want him on my roster.
Man, for some reason they just don't want to get rid of him. I don't know what the deal is. Atlanta could win this division. I don't understand what the issue is.
They could 100% win this division, but right now the door is wide open for Tom Brady and the Buccaneers to get in the back door of this playoffs.
Yeah, with a losing record. Yeah, it's so stupid.
Record. On some fucking cowboy shit.
Well, let's jump right in. We are projecting. This is our mid-season rankings. If the season ended today, kind of where are we at? And kind of projecting this out into the future because there have been some injuries. So if a guy got injured this week or last week or got injured in week 2 but had a great season so far, obviously we're not going to predict them to win certain categories. So the first category that we chose to talk about was Offensive Player of the Year, and for right now it is Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is leading in receiving yards by so much. It's
He is the he's the most valuable non-quarterback in the NFL right now.
No question. Yeah, he's
Honestly,
on pace
he's going
for
absolutely berserk.
he's on pace for what, like 2,200 yards or something like that.
Yeah.
Over 2,200 yards. Yeah, it's insane. And to think that he's doing that in tandem with Waddle, who's also pretty up there in receiving yards. Yeah. The only one who's even relatively close to Tyreek is Justin Jefferson, and it's not that close. So
Really not.
he's the only one over 1,000 still, I believe. I think Justin Jefferson's at like
He
90.
is the only wide receiver over 1,000 yards right
Yeah.
now. And right now, he is on pace to break Calvin Johnson's record
Yeah.
receiving yards in a single season and
Yeah.
like maybe get 2,000 yards.
Yeah. Really. No joke. Really, really. Yeah.
Also, man, straight up, if Calvin Johnson could have played in 17 games, he would have had 2,000 yards.
Oh,
already.
no question. Yeah, absolutely.
Take. Also, if they would have let that man go a lot sooner,
Yeah.
Detroit.
Fuck the Lions.
Dude, real. If they would have traded Calvin Johnson,
Yeah.
just a franchise that had their shit together.
Literally anywhere. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
anywhere
not
that just had
anywhere,
a
but
quarterback.
yeah.
Anywhere that had a quarterback in like the early 2010s, like you. Like, imagine if they would have traded him to Carolina.
Oh my God.
It could have gotten balls from Cam Newton.
Yeah, that when Cam was.
With
Yeah.
Cam Newton, Steve Smith, Greg Olson, that would have been
been disgusting.
That would have been a pretty
Yeah.
nasty.
That would have won a Super Bowl. With that defense, that would have won a Super Bowl.
Maybe it would have. I don't know.
But
It would have been very nice if they could have tried to pull that off.
no question. Yeah, that.
Maybe the draft class when Kelvin Benjamin was coming out, maybe they could have maybe tried to pull it off then.
You know, it's too late to say now, but we
It's
can
too late
always.
to say now because
can
that was
always
Odo
wonder.
Beckham Jr.'s draft class. Maybe, oh man, Carolina could have fumbled that bad because not draft Kelvin Benjamin, get Calvin Johnson. Him and Steve Smith would have been nasty 1-2.
Yeah. You know, they'll maybe get it right eventually. Maybe. They have to get rid of all three of the quarterbacks they have right now, though.
No, Walker's fine as a backup.
As a backup, yeah, but not as a
Fine.
starter.
That's the only reason he's in right now is as a backup and they're tanking.
Yeah.
They're doing a good job of tanking because they won on Thursday.
Yeah.
I knew they were going to do.
Yeah, well, when we, you know, I'm excited to talk about that with you, too, when we get to the end about predicting out records, because will the Lions successfully tank well enough or not? I don't know. Right now, the Texans are in position for 1.01. But,
So, offensive player of the year, we both agree, Tyreek Hill,
Yes.
been on a tear.
absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Next up, we have
Offensive rookie
offensive
of the year.
rookie. Yeah. So, this one
This is one where I think we both maybe take slightly different sides on it.
Yeah.
Two guys we put up there.
And I think it at this point it's really a personal preference thing.
Total just flavor.
Yeah.
It's 100% just what you're looking for.
So we have the split between Dameon Pierce and Kenneth Walker, and I would completely understand the argument for Dameon Pierce because Walker missed, sometime in the beginning of the season with the injury, and then when he finally came in, he's been incredibly dominant since. But what Pierce is doing is definitely special too. I would understand it either way, but just
People doing after contact.
yes, absolutely, exactly, yeah.
Dude, you miss tackles forced. I'm just gonna. He has just one less missed tackle forced than Nick Chubb and Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he has about the same, like just maybe one less game.
Bro, look at his legs in that picture.
Both these backs are built.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, dude, both these teams got it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
and neither of them had to use big draft capital on either one.
And it's crazy because like this running back class was not talked about enough coming into this draft.
No, it wasn't, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn good.
An honorable mention, and this one, I mean, it's probably more so the fact that the Patriots are actually utilizing one running back instead of a shitty system. But Ramondre Stevenson is definitely like, if I could give an honorable mention award, that would be my honorable mention for.
That's your honorable mention.
Yeah.
That's your. I'm happy I had him in fantasy award.
Yes, absolutely. I think I got him.
That's how I feel about Travis Etienne.
I think I got him in like the 15th round in Dynasty or something. It was just a steal. Yeah.
We can talk about players like that when we get to the teams that we're happy about, that we're happy about their performance. We can do that.
Both
folks,
of these guys, though.
Half this podcast is just us dicking around talking about how the season's been so far.
Definitely.
So it's a good time one, honestly.
And it's funnier because like we're both, dude. The past last year, Brando and I had like some of the best constructed teams, and both of us just like collapsed due to injury. We were like 7th and 8th in our own league, and this year we're both doing all right.
We're both doing all right. I need to string some wins together. I'm looking good so far because Drake London had a good showing on Thursday night.
If you and I win this week,
my honorable mention for offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, Drake London definitely deserves to be in there, especially in that offense. Definitely, absolutely, being able to produce with that offense is great.
I just wish he had a better quarterback throwing him the ball.
For real, yeah.
I don't think the offense is that terrible.
No, but I mean, I guess system and quarterback, yeah. But yeah, both of these guys definitely deserve credit for what they've done, coming into these systems and being so dominant. Both of them could be very, very solid offensive rookie of the year. I think right now you have to lean more Pierce.
Yeah, you do. Just because, like, he's also had just more carries.
Yes, for sure.
Kenneth Walker, like he's on like about 23 more carries, 23 more snaps played.
Mm-hmm.
He's had 37 more carries.
Oh wow, that's not as much as I thought, but
Kenneth Walker has a better yards per attempt.
Yeah,
but he also just has a better offensive.
Yeah, exact 100%.
Kenneth Walker has 7 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's finally starting to get a little more involved in the passing game, which is really what I was hoping for. It really helps. I love Kenneth Walker. I loved him.
I think Kenneth Walker is a very good player out of Michigan State.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think both him and Pierce are definitely going to be neck and neck for who wins Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I think Pierce is probably. I know being
close. It's going to be so close. It's just going to be depends on the voters' flavor.
Who do you think's going to have the better career?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's where my mind was going. This is a little extra here, but I think.
Who do I think is going to have the better career?
Yeah.
I think, situation-wise, Walker's in a much better spot. So I would say Kenneth Walker probably.
I agree with that.
Because how I personally view running backs is that 75% of their production is situation and environment.
Yeah.
25% is individual.
That's so fair. That's completely fair. Especially, and when you look at some of the teams that have like a lot of talent at running back but have like a shit offensive line, it's like Leonard Fournette is not broken. He's not what he used to be, but like for how unproductive he's been, Bucs offensive line is really hampering their team. There's a few teams like that. There's a few teams that it's been surprising how. I mean, Nick Chubb is a perfect example. Nick Chubb is a monster, but the Browns' offensive line being so good really helps. Yeah.
Oh, you know who the top 2 longest rushes in the league so far this year belong to?
Ooh, let me think. Are you just running back or Entiendo?
The 2 longest rushes this year or running backs and fullbacks? Who do you think they belong to? The top two. Longest rushes.
Brees Hall and
Well, let me turn snap count to one. Okay, I'll hear your two guesses. You said Brees Hall for one.
yeah. For the other, I can honestly say I would have no idea, but I would just throw like Saquon out.
Okay. So Brees Hall has the sixth longest rush with a 62-yard.
Okay.
Saquon 68. Top two. NF Walker with a 74-yard rush.
Oh, I
Dameon
knew that.
Pierce with a 75-yard rush.
Ah.
It's our two offensive rookies.
I should have figured, yeah, but
Both the running backs that have taken the year by storm.
yeah.
Being guys drafted a little bit lower. I have no problem with drafting a running back as long as I'm just not high on drafting one like in the first 2 rounds unless I think he's a difference maker. I think he has to be a generational running back for me to take.
I just want to say, Kansas City, please take notes. We need a run game. That's all.
Well, you guys need tackles too. So
Well, yeah.
straight up.
Yeah, but we can't keep stringing together Ronald Jones and Jerick McKinnon.
Ronald Jones isn't even on the roster anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Jerick McKinnon, but you guys might as well have Ronald Jones because that's what what's his face, the one that that was hyped up during the preseason.
Pacheco?
Pacheco might as well be Ronald Jones.
You know, I think, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think he needs a little bit of time to develop.
You were about to defend him, and then you said maybe you're right.
Yeah, I mean, what I have seen so far isn't like special, but sometimes people need time. I just really miss Jamal Charles, is all I can say with honesty.
Oh, you know who I think you guys. Okay, it would be fun if John Robinson ended up with you guys.
I will
wouldn't
cry.
Wouldn't like it because you guys do need offensive tackles.
Yeah.
Because there's no way someone's gonna draft him in the first round.
Yes.
There is someone that's going to do it. I don't know where he'll end up, but someone will draft him in the first round.
Probably somewhere in the 24 to 32 range.
You would think, but I could also see higher. Do you remember how high Saquon went in his draft class?
Yes.
On second.
Deservedly so, though. Okay, I understand the injury. Okay, you can't predict injuries.
No. I'm not taking his career away from him. I'm just saying more. Should any running back go that high?
Derrick Henry.
No, I don't think any running back should go that high. That's more what I'm getting at.
Well,
I think. Okay, especially since look what the Giants passed up on that draft class. I get it. Like Cleveland swung and missed on Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
The Jets swung and missed. This Jets swung and missed at 3 on Sam Darnold, the next pick after.
Yeah.
You know who was after that? Josh Allen was there.
Yeah.
And Lamar was there at 32. You know how much different the Giants would have been if they drafted Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
Now, in comparison, they having Danny Dimes.
I mean, Minka Fitzpatrick, Vita Vea, Deron Payne, Marcus Davenport, Derwin James, Jair Alexander, Leighton Vander Esch.
There's a lot of other players they could have drafted there, but okay. But I'm fine that they took Saquon there.
Yeah.
I love Saquon Barkley the player. Him and Christian McCaffrey are my favorite running backs in the NFL.
Same. And Brees for me. I adore Brees already, but
I wish I could see it with Brees Hall.
yeah.
I think I'm a big B. John Robinson guy.
Yeah.
Out
Yeah,
Texas.
you are.
I think he's gonna be a star.
Yeah. I hope so.
But at the same time, I wouldn't use a first round pick on him because I know how important. Like I said earlier, 75% of the production's environment, and then 25% is them. That's why what I think Pierce is doing is very
Impressive.
incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because of what he's doing with after contact and how much of his yardage he has to get after contact.
Yeah. Let me see something real quick. Let's see what oops, let me mute this tab real quick so the ad doesn't start playing. Yeah, the Texans really, really could have that first overall pick. And I guess with the Texans, you really don't know what they're going to do because they need a lot. The Texans obviously aren't going to grab Bijan, but I don't know.
No. If they have too many holes and issues.
Yeah.
If they draft super high and if there's a quarterback needy team, Texans could either trade back or they could also just take quarterback at 1 or 2.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see more at the end of the year. We can try to we'll try to figure out at the end of this when we think the teams are going to be drafting what their positions are.
It is on this quarterback class as well.
What's up?
Also depends how high Houston is on this.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, you never know. But transitioning out of our offensive rookie of the year class here, these next two categories it didn't even have to speak on it because we are so in agreement.
Yeah.
Defensive player of the year should not be any surprise that it is Micah Parsons.
Yeah, probably the best pass rusher in the NFL right now.
I agree. No question in my mind.
I think there's one other guy that I think really does hang with him, honestly. Myles Garrett. And Myles Garrett are the two best pass rushers in the NFL. Two best edge players.
Yeah, Myles Garrett's definitely different. But what Micah is doing, the numbers that he's putting up are great. But if you look at his utilization, the way that he enables his entire defensive line and the way that he enables the amount of pressure that he puts on quarterbacks by himself, not even as a system, is huge. We didn't even have to discuss this. This was just...
And how well his defense is playing is also a big part of it.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to look at just individual-wise.
Mm-hmm.
There's some guys that we could put up there.
Yeah.
That are players that are playing really well. Like Zadarius Smith is having
Z's having a great year. Yeah, I know you guys miss him a lot.
I miss him a lot.
Yeah.
I wish we could have heard of him. I love Zadarius Smith. I honestly was hoping that he wouldn't have signed with the Vikings because I don't want to see him twice a year.
Yeah,
but
for real.
It happened. He's having a great year. You could make a debate for Myles Garrett, but the Browns' defense is so bad.
Yeah.
Your defense
no consistency.
has to be playing well for you to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
That just seems like it should be a thing.
Yeah, completely agree.
Not crazy, right?
No.
So Nick Bosa, I think, also has played pretty well, but he hasn't played every game.
Yeah.
He's missed time. But I really do think Micah Parsons is the best candidate.
I agree.
I'm just reaffirming that we are 100% in agreement that Micah Parsons is playing out as mine.
Yeah, he's special for sure. One of one.
One of one.
And speaking of another one of one, our defensive rookie of the year,
Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, this was another one we didn't even have to. And again, this is another one.
Sauce is playing like a top 5 corner already.
Yes, absolutely. You could make an argument for top 3, but it really, the thing that I'm really happy I picked up on this New York team really, really early, the Jets. I really felt like they were going to be special. I adored what they did in the draft. I think looking back at it now, it's really hard to split for me between the Jets and the Seahawks, who had the better draft. But I feel like both of them, absolute A+.
Yeah, it's definitely between the two. Who do you think is a better team right now?
Jets or the Seahawks?
Jets. Yeah.
Um.
So I think the Jets are a better team as a whole, especially when they're healthy.
Yeah, when they're healthy. But right now, I'd say the Seahawks.
But I also think if they played each other, the Seahawks would win. just
Well,
because Zach Wilson's trash.
So my three reasons would be
He's trash.
Zach Wilson is incredibly inconsistent at best. Elijah Vera Tucker's out right now, and Brees Hall's out right now, and I feel like those three factors. Yeah,
But he's been out all year.
all of the above reasons. The Seahawks, at knocking on wood once more, because we don't ever want to see anybody injured, have stayed very healthy this year.
Playing very well as well.
Yes, and again, it's what we talk about every week. Gino has been not making mistakes, not having shitty, stupid turnovers, and that's really the big difference maker for the Seattle team. The Jets, Zach Wilson just has a propensity to make mistakes. I think if you put Sauce and Tariq Woolen up against each other, you'd see a similar level of. Sauce is. It's different styles of play, right? And it's different defensive scheming. The way that the Jets play, the way that they use their corners in tandem is really smart and beneficial because they have two pretty talented corners. Sauce is obviously the more talented one, but the way that they use their corners in tandem and the way that they play their safeties as well, it kind of allows for some joint coverage and allows for some sharing for Sauce. So it helps take a little bit of pressure off for him so he doesn't have to worry about the deep ball as much. And that definitely benefits him. But Tariq Woolen is having a really quietly fantastic year.
Tariq, I won't even say quietly. I think he's definitely our runner-up for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yes. Yeah.
He is having a pretty good year as well. Also, this edge class, very disappointing.
What's the there's one more I want to talk about. What's the name of the kid from the Patriots? Jack
Jack Jones?
Yeah.
Jack Jones has been having a great year for the Patriots.
Yes.
He's the next. Okay, something that Bill Belichick does, he just will find these corners, and he will just coach him up, and he'll just turn and burn.
Yeah.
Keep turning and burning. He's been doing it for such a long time.
It's crazy, yeah. And he's just like, oh, I'm done playing. It's like the Woody meme from Toy Story. It's like I don't want to play with you anymore. Yeah.
Speaking of is that Bijan who just scored a touchdown? Oh, nope, skipping score. They scored a touchdown on defense. Texas finally can score a touchdown. Texas TCU game is finally going to get interesting.
I haven't watched any games all day. I've been exhausted today. We've been running around for a while.
I completely understand, my friend.
I wish I was, but yeah, we just haven't been home. There's a lot of talent that came out of this draft, and especially when you have such talented corners that are coming out and able to just step in and perform, just plug and play. You have to give them credit for that. But what Sauce has been doing, in terms of scheme, it definitely benefits him. But
yeah, he's been doing a great job,
yeah.
And he definitely is our Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't think when you can say a rookie is top 5 at his position, they probably do deserve. They're probably gonna win that award.
Yes, absolutely, and it's his ability to read plays and sniff out the ball is insane. That's if you go back and watch like any highlights of him this year, his ability to innately know when and where to put his hands is incredible. It's just it's something that can't really be taught. It's instinct.
Right.
Now that we've gotten through our offensive and defensive players, we are on to
comeback player of the year. So we talked about this team a couple times already. Let's talk about him. We got Geno Smith.
Yeah,
Geno. Back.
Geno, we've talked about the Seahawks, like you said. Geno is playing really, really well. He's top. Let me look this up.
Top 5 in PFF passer grade so far this season.
Definitely is true. He has 2,199 passing yards on the season, which makes him 6th overall right now.
And 15 touchdowns to 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
He has the same amount of touchdowns, tied for 5th with Tua.
Yeah. Yeah.
One more.
Yeah.
So he has more yards than Tua as well, which is
Mhm.
kind of funny to think about.
He is the third starting quarterback on the list in terms of passer rating. That's great.
He's having a pretty good. He's having a pretty good year. He's not. He's definitely playing better than Russell Wilson.
Yes.
It makes you. So, do you think this decision was a little bit easier when Russell Wilson went down last year and they were able to see Geno Smith play for them? It seemed like, hey, we can still get production out of this guy. We can still win with him.
You know what? Probably. I think it's kind of. I think it's funny now looking back because everybody's like, oh, Drew Lock is going to be the starting quarterback. Seattle's tanking. And now it's like,
Yeah.
they're pulling away with their division.
Honestly, Drew Lock would be the best quarterback on the Broncos right now.
Yeah.
Hot take.
He could definitely step back in and play better than Russ is playing right now, but I think that while Russ has regressed and while I don't think he's great right now, I don't think he's going to stay this bad. I don't.
I had a crazy thought today.
Huh.
If Russ is shaving points.
Oh. I don't know.
I don't think he is because I think he has too much pride and integrity.
Yeah.
He's just too good of a dude. Man, that would explain a lot if he was.
Dude, Russ is just playing so badly.
Terrible.
It's just, and like, to give you an idea, listeners at home, 6 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. He has a lower passer rating than Marcus Mariota. He has a lower passer rating than Carson Wentz. It's not good. He might be the lowest, to be honest. Let me look. Out of like all of the starting quarterbacks, he's definitely at the bottom. Yeah, the only 2 with lower passer ratings are, well, I guess 3: Davis Mills, Mitch Trubisky, and Cooper Rush. Yeah.
What a list.
Yeah. I mean, if you want the backups, you got Jameis Winston, Baker Mayfield, P.J. Walker, Joe Flacco. They're all lower. Mac Jones, Zach Wilson. I guess there are a few, but still, it's bad. It's very bad.
You know my opinion on Joe Flacco. I think he would honestly be a better starter than Zach Wilson right now.
Yeah, it's very possible, but the Zach and Garrett bond is something they're not going to break right now. So.
No, they're definitely not.
But Geno is playing great. Every
Geno's fantastic.
every week makes you realize more and more how smart the Seahawks were and how much they won this trade.
Real. Because they're going to keep getting more. Like, they have more of the Broncos picks, too.
Yeah.
Like, they're now, they also have a decision in this class.
Yeah.
Have that church picks. If they want to move up, maybe get Bryce Young.
Maybe.
Maybe they could.
Or you could just keep rocking with Geno because right now it's like
I don't trust this class that much either, so I would just keep rocking with Geno.
the best thing that you could do, like the best thing that you could do right now. Geno's 32. I thought he was older than that. I thought he was like 34, 35, 36.
He's only 32.
You really start seeing a decline in quarterbacks at 35 is what I've found traditionally. A lot of them will start before that, but like the good quarterbacks. And Geno looks really good right now. And the thing that he's doing that's really good, again, not making mistakes. When you get those quarterbacks that start getting antsy in the pocket or start seeing ghosts, that's when you probably figure it's time to move on. But
I have to think, he hasn't played too much for the past couple of years.
yeah,
Maybe not as much wear and tear either.
no, definitely. And that's really I think they should kind of ride out the Geno wave. If you want to draft someone to like play behind him, that's fine. But you could definitely wait a year or two because I know there's some good prospects that are still coming up. I know the like public narrative is this is the quarterback god class, but there's a lot of good skill players in this class.
Okay. Let's be honest. There's only one quarterback I would feel like good about using a first round pick on this year.
Bryce Young.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
If Hendon
Stroud.
Hooker was 21,
Yeah,
I would use one on him, but he's going to be 25 in January.
yeah. You never know.
No.
Some team could say fuck
Okay.
it. Some Pittsburgh or Giants could say fuck it.
Well, if you think he's ready, he could be at least an average quarterback year one,
Yeah.
then above average after that, and go for it. Because the advantage of his salary
Mm-hmm.
would then be worthwhile.
Yeah. For real.
But you're risking on him being.
A bust.
Oh, no. Well, I don't think he would be a bust. I think he has a decent floor.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how fast he'll hit his ceiling.
Ah.
Because you want him to hit his ceiling fast.
Gotcha. Yeah. And that's kind of the some of these dudes, I was surprised looking at the ages of some of these dudes.
Yeah.
Some of them are like really young, but then you get isn't like Terry McLaurin like 27?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Double check.
weird. I got it.
DK is super young.
Yeah, Terry's 27, and it's like when you think about like the class that he came in, like he came in 2019, right? Yeah, so it's weird to think about that he started playing when he was 25.
It's really funny because DK Metcalf is 24
Yeah,
right now.
that's just so weird for me to think about.
Same draft class. AJ Brown, 5. Same draft class.
Yeah.
AJ Brown is the same age as Hendon. Is going to be the same age that Hendon Hooker is going to be in January.
That's insane. Like that's so crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It's fine though.
You know what else is crazy?
Huh.
Joe Burrow is older than Lamar Jackson.
Yes. Yeah, I knew that. That one's a weird one, but yeah, I did know that one. Oregon lost to the Huskies.
Yes, they did.
Huh.
TCU beat Texas.
There they go, I guess, you know.
They have the upsets. Vegas.
Huh.
Making her losing money. Quentin
What are
Ewers. Don't. Okay. Hot take. Best quarterback in the country.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams over at USC.
Mhm.
Best quarterback in the country.
Interesting. Okay.
Not draft eligible until next year.
I see. So save.
He went with Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Oh, Lane Kiffin, sorry. He went with Lincoln Riley over
Yeah.
the USC when Lincoln Riley took the USC job.
I think
It was with him in Oklahoma.
what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to honestly, dude, this year in Dynasty, I might like give up my first round pick since I'm probably going to place first or second and see if I can get like the 1.01 overall and just snag like a Bijan or I don't know. Next year I'm going to have Geno and Lance, so I don't think I'm going to go quarterback, but
So happy you're sharing this strategy on the pod right now.
that's fine. I don't think any of them listen, but even if they do, I mean, it's okay. At least you know. Like everybody knows I like Bijan, so it's fine.
So Geno Smith was our comeback player of the year, folks.
Yes.
MVP.
Yeah, I think right now it has to be Jalen Hurts.
So it's down to 2 guys, right?
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts and
Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Yeah. And there's like a dark horse candidate of Tua, but I think if the Eagles go undefeated, right, which the rest of their schedule, it's very, very possible that the Eagles go undefeated. I at most I could see them dropping 1 game, right? But Jalen Hurts is playing really, really well. He has over 2,000 yards on the season, 12 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, and that's not accounting for the ones that he's rushed, if I am correct in that. He's just playing at a MVP level. The only contest would be Patrick Mahomes, who has 21 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, and 2,600 yards. But I think you can't ignore the narrative that the Eagles are undefeated. And
yeah.
they're
Also,
it's a team
Jalen
sport.
Hurts is playing well.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's a team sport for sure. But he's getting 8.5 yards per attempt, almost a 70% completion percentage, 68.2, 12 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, passing 107.8 passer rating. I think only Tua's is higher than that in like starting quarterback category. Yeah,
And
he's
also, he's
playing really
only
well.
thrown 2 interceptions on the season.
Yeah, exactly. He's rushed for a few too. I know he has. I just don't know how many. Let's see. Let's see if we can find these.
I think 6.
I think so too. It's 5 or 6. I didn't want to say the wrong number, but yeah, he's playing incredibly well. It really does come down to these two guys. Mahomes obviously losing Tyreek. There's kind of that narrative of like, oh well, what's he gonna do? And it's like he's putting up career high numbers outside of the touchdowns, but it's still, I mean, 21 halfway through the season is pretty good. You know, that puts you on pace for 42. And with only 6 interceptions, that would be a touchdown interception ratio of 42-12. You can live with that.
Exactly. So Jalen Hurts does have 6 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. Okay. So he's basically, 12 touchdowns thrown, 2 interceptions, and 6 rushing touchdowns.
And 5 fumbles, but he can clean that up.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's the same amount Lamar has.
And again, undefeated, and really it's just kind of how the narrative goes, you know, like with the voters, because Mahomes is kind of
those are just fumbles in general. Those aren't even lost fumbles.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Mahomes is like the golden boy. Everybody knows Mahomes is like the next like transcendent thrower of the football, but you can't deny the Eagles being 8-0.
I mean, he could have 11 fumbles like Justin Fields.
Oh God. Well,
And Josh Allen also has a shit ton. Josh Allen is so turnover worthy play prone.
yeah,
He has 7 fumbles as well with all of his interceptions.
that's a lot.
That's part of the reason why. Okay, this is my hot take, folks. I'm going to share on this podcast. I think Justin Herbert is the second best quarterback in the NFL.
Okay.
I think he's better than Josh Allen because of how prone Josh Allen is to making mistakes.
I will continue on this statement by saying we both agree that Patrick Mahomes is in a tier of his own. You can.
Patrick Mahomes is quarterback 1 in the NFL.
Josh Allen and Justin Herbert are both aliens. They both have arms that can contest Mahomes, but it's just Mahomes is just his own breed. His ability to create his own plays in so many different ways. It's like every week he's playing a different game than everyone else. That's, I guess, my best comp for it. And yeah, he makes some stupid, boneheaded mistakes, but like when your upside is that high, I guess, you know, it's not every play.
He can make it work.
Yes, exactly.
I think we're just waiting to see who is going to be, who can really challenge him.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see who it is.
Lance's comps coming out of college were Mahomes-esque. So
I think maybe Lance. I think also Lamar.
Lamar's game is just so different. I think that's.
I think how different, yes.
Yeah.
But I think how effective. I think how much of an impact he has on the team.
Agree. Yeah.
How much gravity he has
Yes.
is very similar to Mahomes.
Yeah, and that's the really interesting part because it's so different. Their play styles are so different, but I completely agree with you. It's like the gravity, the attention that they draw one way or another. Mahomes isn't obviously, he is not as mobile as Lamar, but the way that he runs is very smart.
Yes, it is.
And versus Lamar, who is both smart and can rely on that athletic ability. And Lamar's really developed as a passer as well. So I completely agree with you. I think Lamar is probably the best competition right now for Mahomes. But,
Okay.
yeah.
This is my hot take. We're going to go down as the 2 best quarterbacks of this era.
Mahomes and Lamar?
Yes.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think there's going to be like a public narrative about some of the other guys, but ignoring
if you're gonna start a franchise tomorrow, who do you want here as quarterback?
no
Lamar
question.
Jackson or Josh Allen?
Shit. Do I get any details on receiving core, running back, offensive line status, any of the above?
No, this is your first player. Building everything else around them.
Yeah, it has to be Lamar. It has to.
Yeah, I would take Lamar too.
Yeah,
Lamar or Justin Herbert?
that's a tougher one. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Indirectly though, and again, it's
They're so
because
different.
Justin Herbert physicality is different than Josh Allen's physicality. I
I
I
also
guess
think Justin Herbert's smarter than Josh Allen. No offense to Josh Allen. I just think Justin Herbert is a fucking rocket scientist playing quarterback.
the only man, that's a really really tough one for me. So if you ask me between Justin Herbert and Josh Allen, I would probably give you Herbert. But the only reason I would do that is because of his deep ball accuracy. Um,
Yes.
Herbert's accuracy is a little bit better. Josh Allen strikes me as the type of guy who would have more Cam Newton-esque tendencies than Justin Herbert, who would
Yes.
be more willing to slide. I know Justin Herbert definitely could truck a dude, but I feel like Josh Allen would be more the type of dude who would try to hurdle or take a hit to prove a point, or land a hit to prove a point, and hurt himself in the process. Versus Herbert, who would be like, yeah, I'm going to slide here. So
Oh yeah, Josh Allen's gonna invite hits.
yeah. Also,
Herbert,
Allen's 2 years older, so I would probably take Herbert in that case.
yeah, because I also think Herbert's just farther along in his development than Allen, even at this point.
But between Lamar and Herbo,
'Cause Lamar's also super fucking young.
yeah, Lamar's 25. He's only a year older than Herbo. Man, I think
Yeah,
the thing is,
Lamar's only also. Isn't that wild to think about? Lamar Jackson is only a couple months older than Hendon Hooker as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Literally? Oh no, he's like a year older because their birthdays are in January. So
Alright,
a year younger than Lamar.
let me peep this real quick. If I only look at these. Man, I acknowledge that it is fully personal bias that would make me want to take Lamar Jackson, so I would have to go with probably Justin Herbert to start a franchise.
It's very close between the two. It's very hard for me to pick. I had to start a franchise. I think between Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson is so hard.
Yeah,
I'm also taking both over Josh Allen as well.
yeah. Yeah.
I think Lamar, weirdly enough.
No, that's fair. I just think if you remove the okay, again, knocking on wood, because God forbid, but if either of them got hurt and lost their mobility in some way, if they had an ankle or knee injury that were or hip injury that ended,
we watched Justin Herbert play through broken ribs.
yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying Justin Herbert is going to have the more talented arm.
Yeah.
I love Lamar, how he's developed as a passer. I don't think Lamar is an inaccurate passer. I just think some of the plays that he tries to make and force a deep ball are not throws
Not
that Herbert would mess
advisable.
up. Yeah, yeah.
Also, not throws that Herbert would try. Either.
Exactly.
Also,
Yeah.
you can tell Justin Herbert used to be a javelin thrower the way he throws the
Yeah.
deep ball. too.
Yeah, for real.
Oh man, I think I'm just still stick with Lamar Jackson just because his rushing ability gives your offense such a high floor.
Yeah, that's super fair. I don't really think there's a wrong answer.
So much room. Yeah, I don't think there's a wrong answer between the two because it's so close. So those are probably my top three quarterbacks I would want for my franchise.
Yeah.
Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, or Justin Herbert.
I think there's an element that we didn't talk about here that we should definitely talk about with our MVP candidate here. Jalen Hurts has he's also a dual threat quarterback in a different way, but the thing that
he's the power back essentially for the Eagles, pretty much.
yes, yeah, and the thing that doesn't get talked about enough with him, in my opinion, his leadership.
The city of Philly has embraced him so
Yes.
much.
Yeah. And
It's everything that city has ever, everything that city is him.
Yes, absolutely. And I've listened to him talk. Most recently, I listened to him on the Kelsey podcast, but I've listened to him in different podcasts, and I've listened to. You should check out the Kelsey podcast, by the way, if you haven't already. I highly recommend it to any of our viewers. Listening to Jason and Travis talk as some of the elite players at their position in the game, if not the best, it's really great insight on a lot of different areas, especially because both of them have played different positions. Yeah, it's I highly recommend checking it out. But anyway, just listening to the way that Jalen can break down and analyze different things in the game, different elements of the game, and how he's so good at handling all of the different aspects that come with being a starting quarterback. The media, the players, the fans, all of the above. Wasn't it Jalen Hurts who last year at FedEx Field, when the rails broke and almost fell on him, he didn't stop to take a minute or anything. When all of the fans fell, he stopped to check and make sure all of the fans were okay.
Yeah, I think that was him.
Yeah.
But also, straight up, when is the NFL is going to come knock on Lincoln Riley's door one day?
Yeah.
Because Jalen Hurts, partial Lincoln Riley product, transferred from Alabama. So Jalen Hurts is also a product of himself.
For real.
That man has worked so fucking hard.
Oh, yeah, don't even get me started on his squats. Yeah.
The squats, yeah.
So he talked about that, how his brother was a power lifter, and his dad kind of helped motivate him to get into the same thing. And when he finally got caught up with his brother, he was like, damn, this is 405. Throw more weight on that shit. Let's go. And he talks about teasing the linemen and lifting as much as they do with them, and just he's just really genuinely one of the dudes in every regard. Everybody loves him.
This guy being a dude. Yeah, the way the Eagles also use him in the quarterback sneak game is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, he was our MVP. And let's keep talking with the Eagles talk real quick, because they also won our next two awards. Offensive line of the year. Their offensive line has played fantastic. Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson. Mailata has also been fantastic as left tackle. This is the best offensive line in the NFL. Gives Jalen Hurts a bunch of room in the passing game. Opens up a bunch of room for the running backs. The offensive and defensive lines are what make the Eagles go.
Yeah.
What's going to probably push them to the NFC Championship game, because that's where I think they're going to end up.
Dude, the clean pocket that he had, there has never been. Well, okay, I don't want to say there's never been, but this pocket.
It's a great pocket.
Yeah. It's unreal.
Granted, no TJ Watt, and they knew the one guy they had a double team.
Yeah.
So.
You know what? It's fine. The Steelers' defense is pretty good, so having that clean of a pocket against the Steelers' defense is still impressive.
And that game, and AJ Brown took over.
Yeah, for real.
Touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they learned who their father was that day.
Dude, AJ Brown is so good.
He absolutely is. That, honestly, the Titans fucked up bad.
Traded a top 5 fucking wide receiver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is just, maybe it's just me. I'm an AJ Brown over Deebo Samuel guy.
Real, dude, I know you love Deebo, so that's crazy.
I love Deebo.
For me,
I love Deebo Samuel because I love guys who are great after the catch.
Yeah.
AJ Brown's a better wide receiver than Deebo.
No, I completely agree with you, but I'm surprised you said that because you adore Deebo. I know.
Dude, I love Deebo Samuel. I love Brandon Ayuk.
You're just a 49ers fan in disguise, really.
I'm a Packers fan, but they're probably my second favorite team.
Yeah.
Well, I like the 49ers.
I
love history, so that's probably a big reason why I like that team.
Well, you might as well also like the team that beats your number one every year, so that's fine. That's fine.
They only beat us They only beat us twice in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Recent memory.
I know.
That Colin Kaepernick game is what pisses me off more, honestly.
I can imagine. Well, you know what? At least you guys have a Super Bowl recently, and they don't. So
Yeah, for real. They haven't won a Super Bowl in a long time.
long time.
They won't this year with Jimmy G.
No, no chance. Next year, they really could be in the conversation if Lance develops at all.
And or, what if they dream scenario? What if Aaron Rodgers gets traded away from Green Bay? To...
Yeah, that's a big what. I think Lance is gonna be pissed that he'd have to sit, but it'd be worth it, I guess.
I would be too. I would be too, but
yeah. Trey, we're actually sending you to Green Bay in exchange for Aaron Rodgers. Congratulations on having Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs. All right. Yeah, I'm sure he'd be.
in comparison to Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle,
and C-Mac, yeah.
McCaffrey.
Great,
yeah.
thanks. Oh, I would throw up. I would cry. I would just quit at that point.
Okay. 49ers offense
Yeah.
with Trey Lance in no huddle situations is going to be so fun.
It's going to be disgusting. Yeah. When Christian
they can go
McCaffrey,
empty set and just run the quarterback as well.
Yeah.
Just have McCaffrey out wide as wide receiver.
When C-Mac got traded to the 49ers, dude, I jumped up and down. I was so happy. That, like, yeah, I love watching the 49ers. But...
If there's anyone that has a chance taking that offensive player title away from Tyreek Hill, it could maybe be Christian McCaffrey
You
if
think
he
so?
balls out the second half of the season.
I mean, it's possible.
Him in this scheme
Yeah.
was nasty.
I think Christian McCaffrey only has like 500 yards rushing, but how much does he have receiving is a good question. Let's see.
Morphing into touchdowns he's going to put up. Total TDs.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's an interesting question, though. I am curious to know. He's 356, so he has like 900 yards total. Yeah.
Or 900, yeah.
Interesting.
So not too far off of Tyreek Hill.
No. And he also accounts for a passing touchdown, too, so, I mean, there's that.
Yep.
He really does it all. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey is just 101.
Dude, one of my favorite running backs. I like Stanford as a university.
Mm-hmm.
I loved watching him play in college throughout his career. Just
Yeah.
Awesome player.
Yeah, that was unfortunately in the era where I really wasn't watching college that much, but
Hey, he was playing at the same time as Derrick Henry, and I think Derrick Henry took his Heisman. That year, I think Christian McCaffrey was better than Derrick Henry that year because he broke Barry Sanders' all-purpose yard record that season.
Derrick Henry Derrick Henry is just different.
Derrick Henry is a great running back.
Yeah.
I think they're both Hall of Fame running backs, just in different ways.
If C-Mac can stay healthy and have some more good years, yes. But right as it stands right now, I don't think so.
McCaffrey's 26.
Yeah.
Hey, isn't that wild to think about for a second? That Christian McCaffrey's 26 years old.
Derrick Henry's what, 28? Something like that?
Let me double check. I want to say yes.
Let me look.
Derrick Henry, I'm very happy he's having a comeback season. Yes, 28.
28, yep.
You know, aren't they? So I don't know how much longer Derrick Henry's gonna actually play.
I think he'll probably play for a couple more years, but how long will he be elite? Is the
I think maybe this is the last year. I have no idea. I'm not gonna call for his downfall because he proved me wrong already.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna wait until it happens. I'm just not gonna draft him in fantasy because it may happen at any point.
Yeah.
But you know, he's a monster and he's a Hall of Fame running back.
Yeah. No question for me. Yeah, Derrick Henry is absolutely. If you can test Derrick Henry as a Hall of Famer, go look at his career, dude. Nah, I can't. Let's see. His like total yardage. Honestly, that's not as much as I thought it was, but
No, because he was a backup for his first couple years.
yeah. But since 2016, he's accounted for almost 8,700 yards. Like, Jesus, dude. Yeah. He's just a monster. He's one of one. There's a reason I call him King Henry, because he deserves it.
The only reason the Titans can win any games.
Real. But we got very distracted from our offensive line of the year and coach of the year. Our coach of the year is also
Nick Sirianni.
Nick Sirianni. Yeah.
The Eagles are undefeated. He deserves it. That whole team is humming.
For real.
And
they have no deficits. Everything's playing well.
And also, if we can also just use this as a segue to go into what we think teams' records are going to be going forward.
God, yeah.
Eagles schedule going forward.
The Bills schedule?
Eagles.
Oh, Eagles. Sorry, you broke up.
Their schedule going forward. It's honestly a little bit of a cakewalk.
But you know what? There's a reason they say any given Sunday, because it really could be any given Sunday. But they play the Commanders, the Colts, the Packers, the Titans, the Giants, the Bears, the Cowboys, the Saints, and the Giants again.
So they play the Giants twice in that span, which is interesting. So teams that could give them a scare:
Cowboys,
Titans, maybe the Packers, probably not.
Probably not.
Giants, and
that's it.
That's it.
For me, I really think it's only the Cowboys. The Titans, I don't really think so. I think if they
only because they struggled a little bit in the run game.
Yeah.
Without Jordan Davis, maybe Derrick Henry could figure something out there, but
the thing with the only reason I'm gonna say the Eagles struggled is because they did not expect the Texans to come out and throw that fucking bomb. So I think that shook them a little bit and stopped them focusing. But also, I think
it was also a Thursday night game. It was a short week.
Yeah. So everybody was tired, sore, and Pierce is probably better at breaking contact at this point than Derrick Henry.
Maybe.
Derrick Henry has not been taking hits or giving hits like he normally does. So Pierce is.
Derrick Henry's also just still is shit.
Yeah, he's 6'3", and I don't even know how much he weighs, but he's fucking yoked.
Like 240, 245,
yeah,
250.
Somewhere in there. Those are the only real three. I mean, at worst they go 14-3, but I
think they go
16-1.
I think their floor is 15-2.
Yeah, I agree. They're not losing 3 games. There are 3 games that are losable, but yeah.
I don't think they're losing all 3. I think there's also a good chance to go 17-0.
Yeah, I'm really seeing one loss on the record, and it could just be the Cowboys game on Christmas Eve. But you honestly never know. It really could go either way.
Also, it's in Dallas.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve. Honestly, we fans feel like they're kind of fans that hate their family. Enough to take their family to Dallas on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So, I could see. I don't know, man. I could see it.
I could
see them being Dallas on Christmas Eve too.
I could see them doing it, but I'm saying that's the only one that I could really see a loss. Yeah.
I'm thinking 17-0, man.
It really could go either way. It's really hard to say that a team is going to go 17-0, so I'm going to say 16-1, but it's very likely they could go 17-0.
I think the Dolphin that old man Dolphins team is sweating right now.
Yeah. It's possible.
This Eagles team is legit, and their schedule sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you want to just keep it in the NFC East?
We can just do it by division.
Okay.
So Cowboys, their schedule going forward. Also, their team as a whole has been playing pretty well.
Yes. So the Cowboys now play the Packers, the Vikings, the Giants, the Colts, the Texans, the Jaguars, the Eagles, Titans, and Commanders to finish out the year.
A pretty decent, pretty winnable schedule going forward as well.
Yeah. The Cowboys have seen more of a deficit. So the Eagles showed a little bit of weakness to the run game to Pierce, but again, it was injury related, short week related, and the fact that they did not expect the Texans to come out throwing bombs. I think the Cowboys probably have 2 losses in the schedule. I think they lose again to the Eagles, and they could definitely lose to the Vikings or Giants.
Yeah. I agree. I think they're gonna finish off as a wild card team. I don't think they're gonna be able to get to the Eagles record.
No, they're probably going to be 13-4 would be my guess.
So and be like the number 1 wild card pretty much.
Yeah.
Which hey,
Not
I
bad.
could see Dallas being anywhere from winning a couple playoff games to getting bounced in the wild card.
Yeah, I think they can win 1 game, but it just depends on who they get matched up with.
No. Imagine Dallas makes it like Dallas is the number 1 wild card.
Yeah.
Because Philly's in their division.
Yeah.
They play Tampa in the first round and get eliminated by Tom Brady.
Oh God. I mean, it depends on how everybody's playing at that point in time. You can't predict the future injuries. You really can't. So.
Imagine it on like a Tom Brady last-minute drive. The Cowboys fans would go insane.
Yeah. Yeah, they sure would.
Let's go to the Giants next.
Yeah, so the Giants finish out the year playing the Texans, Lions, Cowboys, Commanders, Eagles, Commanders again, Vikings, Colts, and Eagles again. Giants have a tough schedule. They have a couple winnable games. I could see them splitting the series with the Commanders, even though the Commanders aren't very good. They found a way to win a couple games this year. I could see them losing both to the Eagles. I could see them losing to the Vikings. I could see them losing to the Cowboys. I don't see them losing more than 5 games in here, but still, 5 games is a lot to lose.
Yeah.
They probably...
It just depends. Depends if they can keep these games close.
Yeah.
I think Minnesota is going to be a rough game for them.
Same. I agree. Yeah. Especially because of a couple of injuries the Giants have had on defense. I could see them going 11-6, but
that's still enough to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's still enough to make one of those 3 wild card spots.
Yeah, because the NFC North and the NFC South are not producing any wild cards. It's not happening. Well,
No.
it's potentially
Green Bay
possible,
is probably
but
dead in the water.
Yes, they are.
So Green Bay needs to beat Dallas this week to have any life.
Any chance, yeah. Which you picked as your upset. Who knows? But I wouldn't bet on it, but it's possible.
I wouldn't either, but
yeah, I think the Giants finish somewhere between 10-7 and 11-6. At best, the best they could do is 12-5 in here. They lose at least a few, so definitely wild card, but not first seed.
I think they get bounced in the wild card round.
That is very possible. Last up in this division. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
I mean, they're probably going to play. Would they play them? Probably Seattle.
Probably, yeah.
Ooh, Seattle would beat them.
And Geno would not write back.
No. So, if I had to predict who I think the 3 wild cards would be in the NFC, I mean Giants, Cowboys, and 49ers.
Yeah, we're on the same boat. Absolutely, no question for me.
Seattle would win that division. If not, flip-flop in Seattle would be be the wild card, and the 49ers win that division.
I think Seattle wins.
Either way.
I think the 49ers get that wild card slot. I think the 49ers will probably sneak into the second wild card slot. I can't really see them losing a lot for the rest of the year. They could, but I don't see the Seahawks dropping.
Not that far behind.
No, they're 2 games behind, I think. But yeah, I don't see the Seahawks dropping it, personally.
Ooh, you want a side bet? $5 side bet? Who wins the division? I'll take the 49ers.
Let me look at their schedule before I say that.
We're going to do that. We're going to do that here.
Well, we got to finish out with the Commanders first. The Commanders play Eagles, Texans, Falcons, Giants. Giants again. Back-to-back weeks. Interesting. Oh, they have a bye in there, I think. I don't really know how that works. December 4th and then December 18th. I guess it's a bye. Then they play the 49ers, Browns, and Cowboys. Commanders aren't a good team. They have some good defensive pieces. They're 4-5 right now.
When they play the Browns, they'll the Browns will have Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. And it's going to be a January game, so you never know. I think it's in Washington, but you never know how the weather's going to be. Let me think. I could see the Commanders winning 2, maybe 3 of these games.
I can see him losing all of them even.
I can't see him losing all. I can see him winning 2. The Falcons.
The Falcons, I could see them winning. I could also
Yeah.
see them losing. The Falcons won.
It's possible.
I can see them losing in Houston.
Yeah, I think the same as well. I think it could just be one of those weird in-division flukes where the Giants could lose to them. But yeah.
What if the Commanders end up having the first overall pick?
Oh God, no! There's no way. There's no way.
They could lose out.
I sincerely feel that the Commanders will have more wins than a couple of these teams.
I would hope so.
I don't think they do any better than 6-11.
Yes, I think that's their
Ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 5-12 is more realistic, but 6-12 or 6-11 is the ceiling. On to the NFC West. So the Seahawks schedule. Let's check out the Seahawks schedule here. Tomorrow they play Tampa. 9:30 a.m. on NFL Plus in Germany. That's 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then they go to the
Plus and NFL Network if you.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, then I might just go to my parents. Raiders. They go to the Raiders next. Rams, Panthers, 49ers, Chiefs, Jets, Rams.
That's a rough end of the schedule.
Yeah, it definitely is. The Rams have
Raiders game should be a win.
Oh,
They should
no
that's
question.
be a job in the club.
Yeah. They should beat the Raiders. They should beat the Panthers. I could see them splitting the series with the Rams. I do not believe that they beat the Chiefs on Christmas Eve. I cannot.
No, I don't either.
And then the 49ers and Jets game. Honestly, the Seahawks could just stomp the Rams. I really don't know. The Rams are really my I have no fucking clue team.
Yeah, because their defense could show up too. 'Cause
Any
Aaron
day.
Donald,
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey, and Bobby Wagner are all still very good.
Yes. And they have Cooper Kupp. You never know. You never know. Let me see. The Seahawks' current record is 6-3-0. Let's say
Hey, and that's what I said.
2, 3.
And that I think the Jets are a better team, but I think the Seahawks would beat them if they played.
Yeah.
Here we go. January
So
1st.
I think probably at best for the Seahawks, they're 11-6 at the end of the year. 10-7 is possible. I think especially with the Jets having players out for the season, I think the Seahawks will win that game as well. So I think they probably I think at minimum they split the series with the Rams. I'm gonna go with they split the series with the Rams. So they're gonna win against the Bucks tomorrow, in my opinion. They're gonna win against the Raiders.
Ooh, I don't. I think that the Bucks win.
I know we already have a bet on that one. I know. But for me, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more wins. So yeah, that would put them at 11-6. I think that's a good record. 11-6 is enough to win the division, but 10-7 is possible. And I think if they go 10-7, the Niners will probably also fall suit. But what are you thinking? 10-7 as well?
Let me see. Let me go back to their record. They're right now 6-3.
And they play the Bucks, the Raiders, the Rams, the Panthers, the 49ers, the Chiefs, the Jets, and then the Rams again. Yeah, it's tough, I know.
7. I can see him going 9-8.
Okay. Wow, that's low. I can't see that, but
I think 9-8, or
that's
I
their
think
floor.
honestly 10-7. I think is their ceiling.
yeah, I think 11-6 is their ceiling. 10-7 is like the moderate for me.
No. 10. 10-7. There's
Or
17 games.
yeah, 11-6 is their moderate. Sorry, 10-6 is their floor, and 12-5 is their ceiling. But I don't know. Or
I
wait,
can see
no,
them going
11,
9-8,
11-6 is their ceiling. 10-7 is their moderate for me.
I could honestly see him dropping both games against the Rams even.
That one I definitely cannot see. The Seahawks have a better roster. Like, the Rams may have better pieces and some better players, but the Seahawks just have a better roster.
Okay, so right now the 49ers are 4-4.
Yes.
I want you to hear their schedule coming up.
Oh, I got it. Chargers, Cardinals, Saints, Dolphins, Bucks, Seahawks, Commanders, Raiders, and Cardinals. Yeah.
There's a real good shot in them winning this division. If they take care of business on Sunday night, 7-4, Cardinals.
Chargers, Cardinals,
4.
Saints. I don't know. They match up. The Dolphins matchup is interesting for sure.
Dolphins matchup's going to be interesting.
I think they beat the Bucks.
Yeah. So they win out. They win this division.
Yeah, you're probably. I think you know what? I do think you're right. They probably win the division by one game. I think they're like
1 to 2 games because the rest of the schedule is so winnable.
Their floor is 11-6. Yeah. Yeah. And the thing with the 49ers though, the thing that scares me is Jimmy Garoppolo. You know.
And that's the thing. Jimmy G is such an unreliable quarterback.
Yeah.
He could sink things. Heartbeat.
Yeah. So let it be known. That's the sound of me knocking on wood. If Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, they're the number 1 seed. If Christian McCaffrey is
they win the division. There's no way.
That's what. Sorry. Yeah. They win their division. Yes.
Number 2 seed. Number 2 or 3 seed maybe.
Probably 3. I would say 3. Yeah, because I think Dallas will still sneak in there at 2.
No, Dallas is gonna have to be a wild card. They won't be. They'll have to be.
Oh
a
yeah,
wild
you're
card.
right. Shit. Yeah,
Exactly.
you're right. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's very possible there too. Yeah. Yeah, I think 11-6 is 12-5 is possible, but 11-6 is very likely for this team.
Could see them even going like 13-4, them even winning out.
I feel like they could drop one game.
The Dolphins.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that you can do the Tua is just pressure him at that point.
Yeah, and their line is great. Yeah, that's true.
Their defensive line is very good.
Yeah.
It's also about how they can try to contain Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Anyone doing that.
Especially when he's paired up with Waddle. Yeah, unreal. I don't know.
So let's go to the Rams next. Their schedule pretty tough going forward.
They got
Cardinals, Saints, Chiefs, Seahawks, Raiders, Packers, Broncos, Chargers, Seahawks. So they're all about median teams.
Yeah.
But the Rams aren't a very great team. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, and they don't have the draft picks.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of reports coming out that Sean McVay is going to be done when this core group is done of Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, Jalen Ramsey. When that core group is done in LA,
Yeah.
that he might retire.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I've been seeing a lot of stuff like that out there. I could see it. I can see him not wanting to go through a rebuild because that's what this team is going towards, is needing a rebuild.
Yeah, that's what happens when you fuck them picks. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, outside that core group, that's what the team suffers with. The rest of the roster is suffering outside those 4 to 5, 6 Ben starters they have.
The Rams are one of the really hard teams to predict because, like, they do have a moderate to high ceiling, but their floor is abysmal because of their offense this year.
Yeah.
Just the inconsistency. And the other thing is, we're not sure whether or not Stafford is playing this week, but we're also not sure whether or not Kyler is playing this week.
Yeah, exactly.
So, for this game,
I think Kyler plays.
I think so too, but even if he does, you remember what happened last time. Aaron Donald was getting after him.
Yeah.
So,
but the Rams going to be able to score it all?
Yeah, I mean, that's really the question.
Even with Matthew Stafford out, will Kyler still be able to get them down the field enough times to be able to score? There was another game last year where the Cardinals also blew the doors off the Rams.
Yeah, exactly. You just never know when the Rams are actually going to show up to play. That's the problem.
Yeah,
They're
well,
just
that's
really
also
unpredictable.
in divisional games. You don't know. Like, it's hard to predict.
Yeah. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The best the Rams could do is 8 and 9, and that's pretty unlikely.
Yeah, I could see the Rams finishing somewhere close to 500.
Yeah, 7 and 10 is probably more realistic, but the 8 and 9 is possible.
Yeah. Cardinals are currently 3 and 6. Rest of their schedule is pretty difficult, but will be entertaining to watch their games. Play the Rams, 49ers, Chargers, Patriots, Broncos, Buccaneers, Falcons, 49ers. I think best case, finish around 500, but I think they're going to probably finish somewhere around 6 and 11.
Yeah, it's very possible.
I think they can only win. I think there's 3 winnable games. I think they can probably beat the Patriots, Broncos, and the Rams. I think those are the 3 ones there.
Falcons?
Ooh, well, maybe 4 wins.
Yeah.
Falcons.
And
I can see them maybe 7 and 10. Maybe 7 and 10.
The Chargers are another one that it could be up in the air because Kyler is so talented, and Kyler and D-Hop's just such a great tandem. You never know. But
Yeah, that's the thing.
The 8 and
Kyler
9 is
and
their
DeAndre
ceiling.
Hopkins are both very talented, but
that's
makes
it.
me feel bad for Kyler because he's just hamstrung. Like he's just hamstrung to Cliff Kingsbury, and Steve Keim and how they're running that organization.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
He needs a young wide receiver to grow with.
Yes,
Outside of
definitely.
like DeAndre Hopkins is old.
Yeah.
In his 30s. Like
Yeah.
you need to go get him his.
Get this
See how
man some
AJ
help.
Brown played when you see how Jalen Hurts is playing with AJ Brown.
Yes.
Go get him a player like that.
Yeah.
We'll say, imagine the 49ers offense with Kyler Murray instead of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh God. Well,
Yes.
next year let's just pray for Trey Lance.
Then Trey Lance is fine, but man, that'd be fun. Yeah, I think that it just sucks for the Cardinals because their season is pretty much already cooked.
Yeah. The Seahawks could win the division, but the 49ers are. Again, it's contingent on Jimmy G. I wouldn't bet on it either way, but the Seahawks definitely could win the division, but the 49ers could also come back. But yeah, it's the NFC West. There's really only 2 teams to talk about. The other 2 are 500 teams at best.
Let's go to a division with even less teams to talk about. The NFC North.
Yeah,
The Vikings are the only real team to talk about.
Yeah.
And the rest of their schedule, their next 4 games
Yeah.
are a little difficult, but outside of that, their home stretch is pretty winnable.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think, yeah, that's the Bears have kind of like awakened now a little bit. We're not sure if that was just like a 1-game fluke. I think Justin Fields is.
January 1st game in Green Bay should be interesting as well.
Yeah.
Playing at Lambeau Field during the winter is always kind of rough.
And it's not a 1:00 game, so Kirk, be on your toes.
I know, be on your toes, Kirk Cousins.
I think that's the other thing to factor in, and people think it's like funny or whatever, but there's a 4:25 game against the Cowboys, an 8:20 game against the Patriots, and then there's the Vikings-Packers game on January 1st.
I think he plays fine against the Patriots. I think they win that game against the Pats.
Oh, I don't know. Well, it's not a Sunday night or a Monday night game, right? And
I think it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Okay. My hot take is I always something that I did like at the pandemic. It allowed me to spend holidays like 2 major holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, with just Haley.
Yeah.
And I think every once in a while, it should be acceptable with your family to take a holiday off and just spend it with your significant other and friends. You know,
Yes, I agree.
like just take. I always I always wanted to do something that I refer to as a Jewish Christmas, where I don't go and see my family on Christmas. I spend the whole day in the movie theater with Haley. We go see a bunch of different movies, and then we go and get Chinese food.
That's the movie. Yeah. Yeah. I things like Friendsgiving and like White Elephant Christmas, things like that. Those are always fun to do. I haven't done very many of them, and it's kind of difficult for people with food allergies. I think that's another thing for me.
It's another thing. It's always making sure that, like,
I'm not gonna die. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Especially when people start getting sauced up. Yeah, for real. Oh yeah, I think I didn't put butter in there. Oh wait, I did. Yeah. That's all.
There's so much butter in there.
Yeah.
So the Vikings, I think they are going to win this division. I think
yeah, no question.
there is a team outside the 49ers that I think that could be the second place team in the NFC. This is it.
I think the
7-1 right
Seahawks
now.
could contend. Oh, you mean for the 2 seed? Yeah, I got you. But
2 seed.
I thought you meant for the actual NFC Championship. But
No, for the 2 seed, for the team that gets to play against whoever the last wild card to get in is.
Yeah.
I play the Seahawks, honestly.
Maybe. It's very possible.
Or the Giants, 1 to 2.
Yeah, they have some very winnable games, but some of them are going to be difficult. I think the Vikings beat the Bills tomorrow.
Bills is going to be interesting.
I think they lose to the Cowboys.
Cowboys is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's at home.
The Patriots game's a difficult one as well. I think they beat the Bills. I think they lose to the Cowboys. Patriots, I'm really not sure.
I think they beat the Patriots. I think they're just a better team than New England. And I think their defense could suffocate Mac Jones.
Yes, I agree with that one.
Or Bailey Zappi. Either one.
Same player, just different names.
I think they can beat the Jets.
I don't know about that one. I really don't.
I do. I really think they can beat the Jets. They are a good team. Sauce Gardner versus Justin Jefferson is going to be
That's going to be super fun.
But that's not going to always be the matchup. He's going to be going up against Michael Carter a lot.
Yes, yes. No, I'm just interested to see that. You never know. I have been notoriously high on the Jets, but that one I'll count as a minus for me.
Remember Zach Wilson's MO, bad against pressure.
Oh, I thought you were going to say fuck all of the MILFs.
Well, you know who the number 1 player is in generating pressure so far this year, right?
Is it Darius?
Darius Smith has the most pressures in the NFL right now.
They definitely beat the Lions.
I think they beat the Lions. I think they beat the Colts.
Yep.
Same with the Giants.
Yep.
Packers game, I think, is a toss-up.
I honestly think the Packers win. I really do. Unless they've just given up on the year. If they bench Rodgers, I don't think so. But
I think even if we bench Rodgers, Jordan Love, I think I don't know. That game in Lambeau, I think we're gonna win. That game in Chicago, Chicago almost beat them in Minnesota.
Yeah, and now that Justin Fields has shown life, yeah, for real, agreed.
But I do think they beat Chicago too. So I do think they probably end up being the 2nd seed in the NFC.
Yeah,
worst case 3rd seed. I think they win the division. I think they have too much of a lead to not.
Yes. Yeah, I think they can go 14-3, but it's probably 13-4 is more realistic.
So let's go to the saddest division in football, the NFC South.
Oh, we're just skipping the rest of them?
NFC South.
Yeah, we're on the NFC North. The Packers, Bears, and Lions.
Yeah, we might as well have. I mean,
yeah.
The rest of the division's so bad as well. So we'll go to my Packers next. The rest of our season is not going to go well.
No. Yeah, we can just blitz these. We can speed these.
Yeah, the Dallas game, we're probably going to lose that game. Titans, it's going to be a toss-up. We're probably going to lose. I don't see us winning many of these games.
They can win 3 more games.
3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
We're going to probably win the season somewhere between 7-10 and 9-8 is. I think 9-8 is our maximum.
I was going to say 7-10, but yeah, I mean, if you think you can get that close.
I think 9-8 I think is the absolute ceiling. That's us only losing 2 of these games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
unrealistic.
Could happen. Those two games being Philly and Miami.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The rest of them, the other games, I think we could. But at that point, we're just hoping for the last wild card spot.
Yeah. And I don't think you get it.
Probably not.
Uh,
Mathematically, it's so unlikely.
the Bears rest of the season's a little bit better. They play the Lions, the Falcons, the Jets, the Packers, Eagles, Bills, Lions again, and Vikings.
I think they tried their best, but I don't think they won any of these games.
You don't think the Bears win any?
I think they beat Detroit.
I think they beat Detroit, and they can definitely beat Atlanta.
I could see Atlanta beating them. I think Atlanta's honestly a better team than Chicago.
I can see Chicago winning 3 of these again. I'm very firm on the...
Hot take. Chicago wins if Marcus Mariota plays. But Atlanta wins if Desmond Ridder plays.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that. Marcus Mariota is just fucking terrible at this point. Yeah.
Buns. He's toast. He's cooked.
Yeah. And the Lions is the last one in this division. This one's just sad. I honestly hope the Lions just stop playing. Well, I don't because I have them on Ross St. Brown. But other than that, I hope the Lions.
Roar was never restored.
No. So they play the Bears, the Giants, the Bills, the Jaguars, the Vikings, the Jets, the Panthers, the Bears, and the Packers.
There's 3 winnable games.
The Bears is a
Games
winnable
against
game.
Chicago. The game
Jaguars
against
and the Panthers. Yeah.
Their games they're getting ran
At
through.
best, they go 5-12, and honestly, it's more realistic that they go 4-13. Yeah, it's just a sad division. Speaking of sad division, NFC South. So the Buccaneers schedule. Let's pull that.
I think the Buccaneers may have righted the storm.
You know, I
think they may have a real shot at still winning this division.
They play the Seahawks tomorrow, which it honestly could go either way, but I just like what the Seahawks have been doing. Their defense has been playing better than the Bucs defense.
I think the Buccaneers match up really well, especially offensively.
I agree with that. Then they play the Browns, the Saints, the 49ers, the Bengals, the Cardinals, the Panthers, and the Falcons.
There's a bunch of winnable games there. I think they lose to the 49ers.
Agreed.
And
Maybe
if Jamar Chase plays, they lose to the Bengals.
Same.
But I think they win. I think they clear the rest of the schedule.
I think they also lose to the Seahawks, but that's still 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's 5, the one we're going to disagree about. But I think they clear the rest of the schedule.
They still win 5.
That.
Yeah, so that's 9 and 8. That's more than what that'll win division.
That's what they need to win this division.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they might just need 8 and 9 to win this division. To be honest with you, they could drop one more, but I don't see it happening.
So I think they end the year 10-7 because I think they beat the Seahawks.
Okay. That is.
So I think they win their division and they're the last seed in the out of the divisional winners, the 4 seed.
Understandable. The Falcons finish out the year with the Bears, Commanders, Steelers, Saints, Ravens, Cardinals, and Bucks. They have a pretty shitty ending to the year. The only real games in there are Bears, Commanders, Steelers, Saints.
I think they lose their last 3 games.
Yes, agreed. Definitely agreed.
I think they can probably beat Bears game is a toss-up. It's 50-50. I think they beat the Commanders.
Yes.
Steelers is 50-50. Same with the Saints. They're going to get ran through by the Falcons on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Wait, no, the Steelers play the Falcons on December 4th.
The Ravens. The Ravens playing the Falcons. They're going to get ran through by Lamar Jackson.
The only thing that gives this Falcons team any semblance of life is starting Desmond Ridder. That's it. And that might be good enough to go 9 and 8.
The fun thing is, the Saints technically aren't dead in the water for their division yet.
Yeah, it's just so bad.
The odds are just really out of their favor. Same with Carolina. They're technically not dead yet. The odds are just really out of their favor. So the Saints, the rest of their schedule is they play the Steelers, Rams, 49ers, Bucks, Falcons, Browns, Eagles, Panthers. I don't think they're gonna make it.
Yeah,
The rest of their schedule,
hard.
I think it's tough. I don't see them winning many games because I think some of their winnable games are on the road. Part of the problem, like their game in Pittsburgh, I think they could maybe win it at home, but it's at Pittsburgh, so I think they're gonna win. LA Rams, I think they could beat the Rams, honestly.
Yes, they lose at least 5 of these. Is what I would say.
Yeah, I think the 49ers beat them. I think the Bucks beat them. Falcons, I think probably do. Saints will have Deshaun Watson by then.
The Browns. The Browns is going to be an interesting game, but
Eagles, I think, are going to beat them. I think they can beat the Panthers.
Yeah. So, not good.
Yeah. Panthers schedule. They play the Ravens next. That's a loss. Broncos. That'll be interesting to see how that game matches up. I think the Broncos are probably going to pull off that one. Seahawks, probably Seattle.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. I think that's going to be a toss-up because it's in Carolina.
Yeah.
Maybe Carolina. Depends how Kenny Pickett's playing leading up to the game.
Yeah, for real.
Detroit. That's going to be a fun matchup between them and the Lions.
Yeah.
Buccaneers. It's at Tampa. I think Tampa's going to take it to them. Saints. I think they're going to lose to the Saints as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a team that's right now competing for that number 1 pick, baby.
Yeah, they don't do better than 6-11, but that's like ceiling hopeful. They're probably a 5-12, 4-13 team.
Yeah.
I think they win 1 or 2 more games. That's it.
Division.
That was the
AFC
NFC.
South.
Just to recap though, we have the Eagles winning. The 49ers definitely could win the division. It's between the Seahawks and 49ers, Vikings, and then the Bucks taking this division. And then our wild cards are Cowboys, Giants, and whoever doesn't win of the Seahawks 49ers for the NFC. AFC East is the really
unless
tough
if
one.
somehow the Seahawks just implode and the Packers sneak in.
Oh, God, I hope not.
That's the only other one I could see.
If the Packers made it, I would be happy, but the Seahawks imploding, I hope not. I love that team.
That's the only way I could see it happening is Seattle imploding.
Agreed.
So AFC South.
Oh, AFC South. All right.
And that's where I want to go next, just because the division's kind of weird. Because I feel like the Colts aren't out of it, but they're waving the white flag.
Kind of. Yeah. It's what
3-5-1, but they're already saying nope, we stand no shot.
they are so emotionally defeated by.
They are, dude.
Yeah, it's bad.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how Jeff Saturday coaches dress white. I think they're tanking. I think this is blatant tanking.
Yeah, it's very possible. I mean, somehow they're still second in their division. I don't know. Right now, obviously, but
Bit of a tie.
yeah, yeah, it's bad. It's really bad.
So, this division, let's talk about the Titans the rest of their season.
Yeah.
Play the Broncos tomorrow. Packers on Thursday night in Lambeau.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati Bengals, Eagles, Jags, Chargers, Texans, Cowboys, Jags again.
Yeah.
So, the schedule is why maybe people shouldn't give up hope on Jacksonville winning this division. This is a rough second half of the schedule for the Titans.
Yeah. Man, that is
Let's
pretty
be
tough.
real.
At best, I would say at best.
They could win. Worst case scenario, they could win only one of these games.
Oh, well, I think it's probably more realistic for them to go something along the lines of like 11-6, 12-5, but yeah, I mean it's possible.
What they just had a huge collapse.
It's definitely possible. Derrick Henry is their offense. If Derrick Henry is not playing well or is not playing for some reason, again, knocking furiously on wood.
If Ryan Tannehill gets hurt again and then Derrick Henry goes out, they could definitely be. That could definitely happen.
Shit, the Texans might take over at that point. Yeah, that division is just confused and abusable.
Yeah, because they're winnable games. I mean, like, they're all 50-50 games pretty much down the line, except Philly's going to probably run for them. Same with the Chargers.
Uh, yeah. I don't know.
If the Jags can sweep them,
Yeah,
then there's a chance.
there is. There definitely
I
is.
I still see them winning this division.
Yeah, same. I was hoping the Colts would, but I was also hoping Matt Ryan wasn't cooked, and boy, was I wrong.
Man, the Colts schedule going forward, rough. So they play the Raiders at Las Vegas. I think they win this game because the Raiders are super banged up.
Yeah.
They play at Philly. They play against Philly in Indy. Pittsburgh comes to Indy. Dallas, Minnesota, Chargers, Giants, Texans. I could see them of their remaining game winning like 3 of those. Houston,
Raiders, Steelers,
Raiders, Steelers,
and maybe
Those are the
Texans.
rest.
It's they don't have more than 6 wins at the end of the season for sure.
Exactly. The Jaguars schedule going forward is also a mixed bag. Not so great for them. They play the Chiefs tomorrow.
Yeah, rest in piss.
I know. Then they play the Ravens.
Rest in piss.
Then they could win the rest of their schedule.
The gates of heaven open. Well, the Jets, I think the Jets dismantle them as well. And the Cowboys is another interesting one.
I don't know. I think the Cowboys is probably a better matchup. Here's the thing. That's a Thursday night game.
Yeah.
And I think I could see them matching up. I don't think the Jets aren't like world beaters. They're not blowing teams out.
No, but their defense is playing very well.
Defense is playing very well, but
Yeah.
Jaguars also have a decent defense. They're not gonna like.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree.
You could definitely see Zach Wilson not playing well in that game. They need to run the ball very well.
Yes.
So I could see them losing the first 2 games and then maybe winning out after that.
Okay.
I could see best case scenario for them. Best case scenario is 9-8.
Yeah.
Realistically, though, they are looking closer to like 6-11.
Yeah, 7-10. Yeah, somewhere in that range. I agree. I completely agree. It just depends on how well they can play.
Well, how they finish out, pretty much.
Yes.
If they beat both the Titans twice, somehow pull off an upset against either the Chiefs or the Ravens, and then so essentially can only afford to lose one more game.
Yeah,
to have a
really.
shot at winning their division.
For real. Yeah, it's
But
gonna
if they
be
do
tough.
that would be wild.
It's really gonna be tough for sure.
Which it's probably not gonna happen.
No.
They're not that good.
The Texans' schedule for the rest of the year,
They're not winning another
1-6-1 Texans play the Giants, the Commanders, the Dolphins, the Browns.
They might be the Commanders.
I was thinking the same thing. The Cowboys, the Chiefs, Titans, Jaguars, and Colts. Yeah, there are 2 potential wins on this schedule, and that's the Colts and the Commanders.
Yeah, Colts, Commanders, maybe that Giants team tomorrow.
I wasn't that your other upset that you picked?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I think those are the only 3 wins they can have. Top end, they are a 5
4-win team.
at top end, they're a 4-win team.
It's just so bad. It's so bad.
Hope CJ Stroud likes Texas.
Well, next we are
Who
moving.
they're gonna draft? That is so who they would draft to.
You think so?
100%. If they had one, I think they're Stroud. I think that's what their front office would lean.
Well, next up we're going to move on to the AFC North, where we have the Ravens leading the division currently. And the Ravens' upcoming schedule looks like Panthers, Jaguars, Broncos, Steelers, Browns, Falcons, Steelers, Bengals. I think they can clear house on the Steelers. There's 2 wins. They can definitely beat both the Jaguars and the Panthers. I feel like they can beat the Broncos. And probably lose to the Bengals. But Yeah, the Ravens are at least an 11-win team to me.
Yeah,
One,
yeah, I
two,
think so too.
3, 4, 5.
Because the rest of their schedule is very winnable.
I think they're probably a 12-5 team.
Because like, it's gonna really challenge them the rest of their schedule.
The Browns,
Maybe
when they
the
get
Jags.
Deshaun back, right?
The Browns with Deshaun is gonna probably challenge them,
And the
and
Bengals,
probably
that's
the
it.
Bengals the end the
Yeah,
season.
exactly.
Those are the
So,
teams that are gonna challenge them on the
yeah.
way. Especially since Jamar is gonna be back for that last
Yes,
game,
yeah,
and the
for
Bengals
sure.
are gonna be trying their best for a playoff spot.
Yeah, and they might be able to do it because their upcoming schedule is Steelers, Titans, Chiefs,
Mm-hmm.
Browns, Bucks, Patriots, Bills, and Ravens. They do have a really tough schedule closing out, but they're going to get Jamar back for at least the last 4 games for sure.
If they had Jamar back for that game against the Chiefs, man,
You know, I'm not sure about that one. I think that might be the last week that he's out. If he tries to rush it back, I don't know. You know,
if he's
McDuffie's been
back,
playing really well, but nobody can cover Jamar.
put up 200 yards on you guys again.
I don't know about 200. All right, listen.
You did it as a rookie.
Yeah, well,
Put up 200. He put up 200 on y'all as a rookie already.
you know what? I think
You know that game.
I
You
think
remember that
I
game.
yes, I do. I still see it
Put
when
a
I close my
three-piece on
eyes.
y'all too.
I know. All right, so I think I
Yeah.
think they can definitely beat the Steelers. Titans is honestly a toss-up, but I feel like the Bengals can probably win that one. Lose to the
Yes.
Chiefs. The
Probably.
Browns. The Browns. Is Deshaun back that week? No, he's back the week after. No, he's back that week. That's the week he comes back. The week after he comes back. Let me
Let's
think.
double check. Yes, Deshaun will be playing that game against the Bengals.
15, 16, 17. Yeah, okay. So that honestly could go either way. If Jamar's back, then probably give it to the Bengals, but if not, then probably the Browns. Against the Bucks, that's a tough one. 5. Yeah, I think they could probably win out against the Bucks and against the Patriots. I think they just have too much offensive firepower for the Patriots to hold up against. I think the Bengals probably finish around 10-7, maybe 11-6, but it just depends on when Chase comes back, really.
Does. I think that's 100% where the Bengals go as far as Jamar Chase will take them.
Yeah.
Outside Tyreek Hill, I believe he's the most valuable wide receiver in the NFL. How far he can take his franchise.
The only ones I would contest that with would be like Mike Evans.
I'm talking about right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably an accurate assessment. I know you're a little higher on Jamar than I am, but
I know.
it's not like a disparity, like a horrible gap, but it's like I don't see it as much as you do, but you watched him through college, I guess is the best way to describe it. Yeah.
So let's go to our next team. I think the Bengals have a good shot of making the playoffs as a wild card.
Yeah, like the last wild card.
Pretty much in the AFC.
But it also depends on how the Patriots do. You know, it that whole division. Yeah, we'll talk about that one last, saving the best for last. The Browns close out the year with the Dolphins, Bills, Bucks, Texans, Bengals, Ravens, Saints, Commanders, and Steelers. They don't get Deshaun back until the game against the Texans. They probably lose to the Dolphins. Depending on whether or not Josh Allen's in, I think they probably lose to the Bills.
They lose against Case Keenum.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think they just ground and pound with Nick Chubb and force Case Keenum to hard throw the ball. I'm not sure. It could go either. I still think they lose against the Bills. You're probably right, but I don't know for sure.
I don't know.
The Bucks game is an interesting one.
I think Tampa Bay beats them, especially without Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I agree. Deshaun comes back, so they're 0-3 here. Deshaun comes back against the Texans, they win that game. Deshaun's back against the Bengals. It depends on whether or not Jamar's back, in my opinion.
I think the Bengals win it, even without Jamar. I think the Browns defense is also just broken right now.
Yeah. Ravens Browns is definitely going to be an interesting one.
Ravens Browns gonna be interesting. I'm gonna take the Ravens.
I
Still.
agree. I was also going to say the same thing. They beat up on the Saints.
I think they beat the Saints.
Yeah, they beat the Commanders, beat the Steelers.
I think they won their last 3 games of the year.
Yeah, so they finish 8-9. I mean, it kind of is what it is.
Well, where we think they would go.
Yeah.
Steelers. I think they beat the Saints tomorrow. That's gonna be a fun game.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think so too, because it's in Pittsburgh. Yes.
Then they play the Bengals, Colts, Falcons, Ravens, Panthers, Raiders, Ravens, Browns. I can only see them beating Carolina and the Raiders. And the Saints.
They could beat the Saints and the Colts.
I think they win 3 of those games.
They could beat the Colts as well.
I don't know. I think the Colts are gonna beat them. I think they end up finishing 5-12.
That's very realistic. It's just not good. Yeah.
It's gonna be This is gonna be Mike Tomlin's first losing season.
I know. That's heartbreaking, honestly.
He's almost mathematically there. As soon as he gets his 9th loss.
Yeah, you can't come back. Literally, I know it sucks.
3 losses away.
The Chiefs' schedule finishing out the year, going to the AFC West. We play the Jaguars tomorrow. Chargers, Rams, Bengals, Broncos, Texans, Seahawks, Broncos again, and Raiders.
Very mid schedule.
Yeah.
Going forward.
We beat the Jaguars. I don't think the Chargers have enough weapons right now to contest us. I think we beat the Chargers. I think we beat the Rams.
What? That's wild. You guys are only ahead of the Chargers by 1 game.
I know. Isn't that weird? I know. It's so crazy.
It's because everyone thought the Chargers would fall apart with their injuries, but this is why I think Justin Herbert's such an elite quarterback. He just holds it together when things are still falling apart around him.
Yeah, including his own ribs. It's crazy. I know. I think the next 3 games that we have are wins, though. Going up against the Bengals, again, it depends on whether or not Jamar's back.
Jamar plays.
Yeah.
Broncos, I think, will be a toss-up.
So
Probably.
The only reason I give us the win against the Bengals here is because Awuzie's out. And when Eli Apple is the only I know their safeties are pretty good too, but when Eli Apple is like their cornerback 1, that's not good.
We'll see how they play. We'll see. I'm excited to see how the Chiefs finish out this year.
I don't think we drop a game. I don't think we lose 1. If we do, it's to the Chargers or Bengals.
I want to say I agree with you. Yeah, I do.
I think the Bengals would be the one that we would drop the game to.
Maybe the Okay, I think the Chargers and Bengals are the only 2 games you guys lose here. I think you guys finish 13-15.
Yeah. Maybe, you know what? It's my team. Consider me an optimist. I'm going to say 14-3. Yeah. I'll be optimistic. Give me 14-3. Yeah.
Chargers play the 49ers in primetime. They play 2 primetime Sunday night games back-to-back weeks, by the way.
Interesting.
They play Chargers. They play the 49ers this week.
The one got flexed, yeah.
Then they play you guys in primetime, the Chiefs. And they play the Cardinals at 4 o'clock, Raiders at 4 o'clock, Dolphins at 4 o'clock, Giants at 4 o'clock, Colts in primetime. That'll get flexed. Nope, it's Christmas. It's day after Christmas. I don't know. Chargers, Rams on New Year's Day, and then Broncos to finish the year.
They lose to the 49ers. I could see them losing to us. I could see them losing to the Dolphins, but other than that, that's it.
Honestly, I could see them beating the Dolphins even.
I can't. That one I definitely cannot. I see them being 11-6 though. That's not bad. That's definitely a wild card.
They're definitely getting a wild card spot. I think there's 4 teams that are really vying for a wild card. The 2 teams that don't win the AFC East,
Mhm.
no matter who's that's going to be, either the Bills, Dolphins, or Jets. Two out
Yeah.
of those 3. Chargers and the Bengals.
You know what? The Bengals and
And
the
one of those
Patriots.
4
The
teams,
Bengals and the Patriots have the same record right now.
they do, but you saw the Bengals schedule is not that bad going forward.
Yeah. Well, let's see what the
We're,
Patriots.
we're going to get to the Patriots schedule, and I don't think it's that good. And also, let's take another thing into account. How much better is Joe Burrow than
Quarterback.
Mac?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Well,
We'll go to
the Broncos.
we'll do the Broncos.
They play the Titans, the Raiders, the Panthers, the Ravens, the Chiefs, Cardinals, Rams, Chiefs again, and then Chargers to finish out the year.
They can win some games there. I think the Broncos could honestly end the year around 500.
The Broncos can beat the Raiders, the Panthers, maybe the Cardinals and Rams.
Yeah, I don't think the Cardinals, but I think they do beat the Rams.
They at most the Broncos are like a 7-win team to me.
Yeah, I think they could probably finish maybe 6 and 11.
7 and 10
11
is like
probably.
ceiling at the Raiders.
And Raiders, I don't think the Raiders won another game this year.
The Raiders are 2-6 right now. They play the Colts today, Broncos, Seahawks, Chargers, Rams, Patriots, Steelers, 49ers, Raiders. The only team they could really beat.
The Colts. Tomorrow.
Yeah, the Colts and maybe Steelers or Broncos. One of those two. Just as a weird game.
But I honestly don't think the Raiders won another game this year.
3 and 14 at best. 4 and 13, but it's 2 and 15 is very possible. Fuck the Raiders.
So let's go to the AFC East.
The premier division, yes.
So yeah, the Bills are at the top of their division still because they just haven't lost as many games as anyone else.
So they play the Vikings today. Josh Allen is an hourly decision, so that's an interesting one. If Josh Allen plays, they could win, but I'm taking the Vikings.
Take the Vikings in that one, but I think Josh Allen's going to be back to play against the Patriots on December 1st.
Yeah, for sure.
So, hot take. If they lose to Minnesota, fine. But I think with Case Keenum, they could win the next 2 games after that.
They could definitely beat the Browns and Lions, yeah, for sure. I think the thing with the Lions is their offensive firepower, but at a certain point, it's like, Swift has not looked right. Swift needs some time to get right. I don't know what his exact issue is right now. I know he's having both ankle and shoulder problems, but they need to just bench Swift until he's right.
It's also a good defense, and they're playing against Jared Goff. So.
Yeah.
So then Bills, Patriots. I think Josh Allen will be back for this game. I think they can beat the Patriots. I think they can beat the Jets. I don't think they're going to get swept by the Jets this year.
Yeah.
They'll probably split the series. Same with I think they're going to probably split the series with the Dolphins.
Yeah, agreed. You know what? Actually, I don't know.
Oof.
Micah Hyde's out. Hoyer's out. We don't know how long.
Well, the Dolphins have also gotten some injuries since then. Brandon Jones is now out. So we'll see. We'll see where we're at by December 18th. There's a lot of football still left to play.
I think, yeah, we'll get to the Dolphins in a minute, but I think I give the edge to the Dolphins in this one, to be honest.
All right. I'll take Buffalo in that one.
Okay.
Then Buffalo, Chicago.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one.
Buffalo Bengals, Buffalo Patriots again.
Yeah, the Bills really have like 3 losable games in this schedule. The rest are like theirs to lose. They could lose a game to the Patriots just because Bill Belichick in winter conditions against any quarterback, his defense is great. Dolphins just because it's impossible to guard those 2 receivers. And Tua is a very accurate and relatively safe thrower of the ball. And then Vikings because Josh Allen's out. But other than that, I mean, the Jets, there's always a possibility, but I don't see it. I think the
We can-
Bills probably don't lose more than 3 games from this point. They're no worse than 12-5.
Speaking of the Jets, they are the next team we're going with.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're on a bye this week. Not playing tomorrow.
I think so too.
They're not.
Yeah, they're not playing until the 20th. Yeah.
Yeah, and they play the Patriots. They play the Patriots, Bears, Vikings, Bills, Lions, Jaguars, Seahawks, Dolphins.
Yeah, and the Jets' defense is playing great, right? And their offense is relatively efficient. I think if
Worst case scenario, they only win 2 games.
you really, no,
Worst case scenario.
worst case scenario, they win 3: Bears, Lions, and Jags.
Jags upsetting them is the one pick. I can still see Trevor Lawrence coming out and being this team.
With what weapons?
Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk is still a solid wide receiver.
Versus
Travis Etienne is still a very good running
that, I agree with, no question. But there is no.
How's the Jets gonna score?
I mean, hey, they have Garrett Wilson and
you still have to put up points too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun. I agree with you. The Jets are probably gonna win this game, but it isn't like they're gonna blow them out.
2, let me see, 3, 4.
I could see the Jets honestly missing the playoffs with the rest of their schedule.
Yeah, I think the Jets are a 10-7 team. I really, really do.
Ooh.
This schedule's hard.
They might not make it.
I
was telling you before, I could see the Bengals making it instead of the Jets, and I could see it with the
hope
rest of their
not.
schedule.
I hope not. I hope not. I don't want to have to play against Jamar. Please no.
Yeah, you would rather play against the Jets, probably.
Yes.
It's a more winnable game.
It definitely 100% agree. Yes.
Okay, I honestly, I don't think the Jets make the playoffs with the rest of their schedule.
Yeah, that schedule sucks for real. It's going to contend on when Jamar comes back. 100%. The Bengals are going to hard struggle without him. So the Jets have a better record right now, right? They do have a harder schedule coming up, but if
They're right now 6-3.
Yeah.
The Jets are 6-3.
The
They
Bengals
only
are
win
5-4.
3 of their games. They go 9-8. They only win 2. They go 8-9.
I don't see them winning 3. I think they win 4, but it's still tough.
Where's the 4th game? England.
All right, hold on. Let me back it up. All right,
Fourth game's New England.
here's my bold prediction. I think they win against Patriots. I think they win against the Bears. I don't think they win against the Vikings. I don't think they win again against the Bills. They win against the Lions. They win against the Jaguars.
So the bold take is the Patriots.
Yeah. If Zach Wilson did not fuck up so badly trying to throw the ball out of bounds and instead just threw it to the Patriots players on, I believe, 3 occasions, at least 2 occasions.
He just sucked. It's fine.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
So let's go. So I believe that was our last division, my friend.
Yeah, we have the Patriots schedule to go through last, though.
But I also don't see the. Well, we need to go for the Dolphins too. Let's go for the
we
Dolphins
do.
real quick. Yeah. So play the Browns this week. They'll beat the Browns without Deshaun Watson.
Yes, no question in my mind.
And to play the Texans, they should beat the Texans. 49ers, that's gonna be an interesting game. And the Chargers, Bills, should beat the Packers. Patriots, they should beat them. That's a divisional game, so it'll be interesting.
And I have them.
Jets, they should beat the Jets.
Yes.
Because they almost came back to beat the Jets with fucking Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tua was out.
Yeah. So I have the Dolphins as 11-6.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins are definitely a playoff team.
Yeah.
I think they're a wild card team if they don't win this division.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean the Dolphins really could go like 12-5, but it just really depends.
How some of those like 50-50 games
yeah,
go.
Yeah.
Let's see, Patriots, they play the Jets next. They are also on a bye this week. I think they beat the Jets.
Yeah. That's
they-
probably the public conception, but I just believe in this Jets team. I really do.
Patriots are playing the Vikings on Thanksgiving. I think Minnesota wins that game.
Same.
Play the Bills December 1st. I think the Bills. Cardinals, that game's 50-50. Probably the Patriots, though.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Then they play the Raiders. They should beat the Raiders.
Yes.
The Bengals on Christmas Eve, I think they lose to the Bengals.
Yeah, I think so too. They just have too much firepower with Jamar back. I agree.
I think they lose their last 3 games, to be honest with you. I think they lose to the Bengals. I think they lose to the Dolphins and the Bills.
I agree.
That's why I think the Patriots also don't make it in. I think the tail end of their schedule is also rough.
It's very possible. I mean, honestly, yeah, it's very possible. Again, the real contingency factors are how well can the Chargers do, who will they get back from injuries, and how long does Jamar take to come back for the Bengals?
I guess my playoff teams are Chiefs, Ravens. I think Titans do make it in for the AFC South.
Same.
More likely than not. Jaguars getting in is a dream scenario. Florida people on meth.
Yeah. Bills and Dolphins.
I think the Bills end up winning their division.
The Dolphins don't miss the playoffs.
I think the wild card. My wild card teams are Dolphins, Chargers, Bengals. I think the Jets miss out. So the Patriots.
Man, I think one of those teams falls off. I think one of the Chargers or the Bengals falls off, and the Jets make it. But I'm the same.
That's where I'm standing with it. Those are my teams. I know you're gonna put the Jets in there somewhere, so I don't know which team you're gonna take out for them.
Honestly, probably the Chargers.
Ooh. All right.
You know, I don't know. I
And
know
you're
that's
winning a game
that's
back of your Chiefs even.
that's my hopeful dream scenario, but it.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing is, okay. Being
I think
honest,
the Chargers are more likely to win your division than miss the playoffs.
I don't think they win the division, but no, the Bengals would be the one to.
If they beat your Chiefs and then just have better same record as them the rest of the way, they'll win the division.
Oh, don't say that to me. Look, okay. Being honest, I don't think the Jets make the playoffs either. I know that is an absolute fucking trebuchet. But you said the Jaguars, man.
Podcast, you said it.
You said the Jaguars, man. I had to. If you're throwing out your dream scenario,
Jaguars is a dreamscape scenario by Florida people on meth.
Well, yeah.
It's still a universe that exists. The Florida methscape is a fantastic, whimsical world, my friend.
Yeah, as whimsical is, I guess, the key word in that sentence.
Yeah, we love whimsical felonies. Anywho, everyone, that's how we see the teams breaking down. Thank you for coming to our mid-season award episode of Pitch Pass Podcast. It's been me, Brando, my co-host, Brett. Appreciate y'all. Love ya.
Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let us know what your favorite team is and whether or not you're making the playoffs this year. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. I know this was a little bit of a longer episode. If you made it to the end, please comment, pay Lamar Jackson. Thank you so much, and peace out.